Looking for a car dealer that actually feels like your hometown? Welcome to City Chevrolet of Grayslake, where the vibe is friendly, the pressure is off, and you'll always be treated like family. Meet Anthony Scala. He's just not the owner. He's a guy that grew up in the car business, worked his way from porter to owner. Anthony believes in people first. That's why City Chevy sponsors your kids' teams, your town events. And matter of fact, this show, they give back every chance they get. Anthony thinks that the experience of buying a car should be fun. No pressure, just honest people who care. Whether you need a new Chevy, a quality used car, or just service you can trust, City Chevy is here for you. Come visit City Chevrolet of Grayslake right off of 120. And thank you for sponsoring our town, our stories, our voice. Let's get after it, Grayslake. 1 minute, your world is normal. The next, it's gone. A flood, a fire, a crime scene. Your home shattered, your business shut down, your life on pause. But in the darkest hour, when chaos knocks at your door, that's when Serve Pro of Northwest Lake County shows up. Not just a company, not just a cleanup crew, but neighbors, parents, coaches, locals who care. Drake and his team aren't just restoring properties. They're restoring peace, restoring dignity, restoring lives. So when your worst day arrives, call the oh no guy, who becomes your thank God guy. Serve Pro of Northwest Lake County. Locally owned, nationally known, unshakably trusted. From devastation to restoration. Serve Pro, Northwest Lake County. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another episode of Discovering Grayslake, which we may put this on Lake County or maybe worldwide. Worldwide, we don't know what we're doing.
Let's put it in China.
Okay, so I have a problem saying his name, so I'm with Rotty Garcilazo.
Smooth.
That was good.
That was
Garcilazo.
Smooth. That was smooth.
All right. It's almost like this is my second rodeo. So
I've been saying my last name for 43 years, so it's easy for me.
Well, you're pretty good at it. So
no, I'm just saying, like, it's not that difficult.
So Grayslake, this is what I want to do. So Ryan and I get to be buddies. We met at JC Park. It was a night just like tonight. And we in slow motion walked across.
Romance, bro. I don't know about all that romance, but we're here. Here we are. Right there. Somehow, some way, we're here.
Exactly. So as I met Rotty and I started talking to you, and so I did a little what do you call it? Not an interrogation, but a little background check on you because you being around the kids was a little scary to me.
Are you with the feds?
I'm more local authority.
You're the one that said interrogation.
Yes.
I would have said like podcast.
Right.
Fine, but.
So I found out about, and I think the first email I saw you send out on the bottom, it says, flip that shit.
Flip that shit.
So I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Like, who is this guy? What does he do? Because I knew you're a big personality. And I really like what you do with the kids and how you coached them. And you had this,
thank you,
like, not a Jekyll and Hyde thing going on, but you were like really good with the kids.
You got to bring it down a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. But you're in what you do for a profession that I want to talk about. So generally, what do you do for a living?
I flip houses. We're rehabbers. So what people see on TV, we do, but what happens on TV is fake, if that makes sense. So we do flip houses. We buy houses. We buy properties. We buy assets of all sizes. We could do hotels, multifamily apartment complexes, condos, duplexes, single family. You name it, we could flip it. And we've done it over the years, right? So, real estate investing is really the underlying moniker of what we do. We're real estate investors. But there's multiple ways to invest in real estate. So if you take it to construction, which we do all the time, then you're considered a rehabber.
Gotcha. Okay, so anybody that's not, we're recording this. This is on YouTube. This is on the Discovering Grayslake YouTube.
Do your thing.
We're sitting on buckets now. I want people to envision if they're just listening right now.
Yeah.
We are in one of your homes, which is in Long Grove, and we are actually sitting at a place you do what you do.
This is one of those what we call. And I said this to you earlier.
Yeah.
This is what you call $1 million flip. It's rare. So on TV, they'll always show you like, oh, we're gonna, this is $1 million flip, and we're gonna make 300,000. We're gonna make 400. It's all full of shit. It's all fucking fake. The reality is, you may get a true $1 million flip once in your career, maybe twice if you're really the GOAT, right? And I consider ourselves pretty good at what we do. We've been doing this 23 years, right? So at the end of the day, when I look at what we're doing, this house in Long Grove has Stevenson High School District, which everybody wants, right? So for the locals, they know what I'm saying. This is a huge property in terms of the benefits because in size, it's small. Literally, I don't know, 500 yards down this curved road,
Okay.
Those houses start at $5 million, but they're also 10,000 square feet.
Wow.
This one's not. We found this one crazy. It's been vacant since 2017. This is what we do. And it's about 2,900 square feet. So in my opinion, this is a phenomenal starter home for any family who's like, I just want to get into district. I'd love my kid to go to Stevenson. God bless you. Do your thing, right?
Right.
And so we're renovating the shit out of it, and we're giving all the bells and whistles that a 3,000 square foot home can hold, right? We got the custom trim. We got probably 45 can lights, right? We had to upgrade service panels. We have all new MEPs, meaning like furnace is new, AC is new, the septic tank is new, the well is new, everything you could imagine. And when I first saw this home had where I'm sitting. I swear to God, I thought there was a dead body in here, and it was covered in clothes and food and furniture. You would have thought the person or the family just left an hour ago. Like everything was still here. Wow. That was very reminiscent for us in 2008 when the recession really hit, because that was actually happening. Everybody was getting foreclosed on. Wow. But in today's market, that's also still very rare now. It's not that common. You're talking 14 years later. So 15 years later. So when we found this house, I was like, man, I feel like the family just left. I mean, there was a bathroom to my right. We knocked that shit down. Now we have 9-foot ceilings. But like the kitchen itself had food. There was food in the pantry. There was rats and mice in here, like still eating and living off the food. There were squirrels in here. The entire roof had caved in 4 different places. And I said, I think this house has potential. That's how I operate, right? Like, this is what I do. I'm a
little optimistic.
We flip houses.
Right.
So I look at it like where most people would probably be like, oh my God, stay away. I'm like, no, we're diving in. And I had to convince a lot of my partners, a lot of our lenders, a lot of our investors, and a lot of our students who are in on this deal. I said, man, I've done this before. Mm-hmm. Like, I know we can do this. And there was not one single human being on this planet that believed me. But now they believe me now because look at where we're at. It's almost done. We're on finishes.
Wow.
When you're great and good at what you do, and you truly believe in the business that you own, and you know you are good at what you do, there's nobody that can convince you otherwise. Period. End of story.
Amen. All right. So I want to, because people that don't know you, I want to take this back, because we went and had lunch before this.
We're sitting on buckets, bro.
We're sitting on buckets. So we're talking about how you grow up, how you get into these things. So tell everybody a little bit about like childhood, like where did you grow up?
So I was born in Waukegan, raised in Waukegan. My family's from Waukegan. All my family's from Waukegan, actually. And my dad he was probably the first to go to college in the entire family. He's one of, I don't know, 10 or 11 siblings, right? Big family. My grandfather had a big family. We had, there was like 4 immediate brothers, then there were stepbrothers, and then there were half brothers and sisters from marriage after a fact. Like it's just a big family, right? But we're all from Waukegan, and my dad, my mom, they said, one day I want you, we just got to get out of here. I want you to have a future. Ironically enough, it was literally like just 2 different worlds. They went from Waukegan to Vernon Hills. And at the time, Vernon Hills was like 37,000 people, maybe. I don't even know. I remember seeing a green sign when I was like 10. But the cool thing is that I went to school out here and got a phenomenal like book education. But on the weekends, I go back to my grandma's house over, by Mike's Pizza on Belvedere. You know what I mean? Like Home Depot wasn't even there. Belvedere Mall was still popping. So I had the best of both worlds. I had the street education and that no nonsense, like respect people, know where you're going, know who you're dealing with. Like, you know the game, right? Gangs and all that bullshit. You know the game. But then I come to Vernon Hills, I'm like, there's none of that. It's kind of like you could just walk down the street freely and go to 7-Eleven. So it was very weird. Yeah. But I ended up going to Libertyville High School and graduating in 99, which is a blessing too, because like I said, at the end of the day, I had a street education and I had a very good book education. And in my opinion, that's missing in today's society, because I think it's a very good conduit for young people. I don't care if you're a guy or a girl. Don't give a shit one way or another. I think it's a very good conduit to build upon, personally.
So it seems like the way you grew up, you kind of took that kind of business model, because knowing how to deal with people and to do things that your business sense, along with hard work and that work ethic. Like, how do you bring that in to start what you're doing? Because or we should start this way. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I lived in 2 different worlds.
Yeah.
To answer to your point, I lived in 2 different worlds. And as a kid, it wasn't that difficult. As a kid, it wasn't, you only know what you know, right? You're a kid.
Right. Very
So
true.
there was nothing I know now that I knew then, right?
Right.
That's my point. So you just kind of float, you do your thing. I'm going to grandma's house. I'm with my uncles, my Uncle Ricky, my Uncle Raymond. I live with them. They lived at home with grandma. Those are my mom's siblings, younger brothers, right? My mom's the oldest. I slept in the same bed as my uncles. I had breakfast with my uncles. I played basketball and baseball with my uncles. We walked down the street to get milk with my uncles. Like, that's just what you did, right? And my dad's side was very male dominant too. So our family in general is just male dominant. And my mom was 17 when she had me. My dad was 20. They're still married 44 years later. So I was the youngest, like, nephew. I was the first grandson because she was so young. So in my family, I was like a prince. They're like, that's Ryan. That's baby Ryan. And to this day, I give them shit, all of them shit. I'm like, who the fuck names me Ryan? Like, we're not even remotely close to Irish. Where'd that come from? But it was like the cleanest name you could ever, is the greatest gift they could ever give me. Ryan James Garcilazo. That name, unfortunately, in today's society, will always precede myself because it's a clean name. Then they meet me, see the earrings and the jewelry and the attitude and all that swagger. I don't give a fuck, but that's part of who I am. But the name is clean. It's a great name, and I'm grateful for that. So that's the irony of my life is like, man, I was given this clean name. I come from the hood. I was raised in Vernon Hills, but then I was raised in Waukegan. And then I go to Libertyville High School. And at that time, I think there was 9 minorities. 9.
Really?
And that's my crew to this day, 35 years later. Those are my boys. Hawaiians, Russians, Mexicans, El Salvadorians, Puerto Ricans. That was our crew. And I can call any one of them. That's, you saw earlier we were talking, like, that was the group text on the birthday. I was like, we call each other derogatory names because that's my boys. We're family. So my point is, like, it was very interesting because a lot of us pulled a lot of that Waukegan here, but knew that doesn't ride here. It's going to get you in trouble quick.
Right.
And I was grateful because I'm like, I don't want trouble, actually. I just want to hang out and play football, man. I just want to play sports in the yard. I want to go fishing and catch tadpoles. Things we did. I caught turtles. Like, things that you would never do in Waukegan, we did in Vernon Hills. I'm like, Dad, I'm going to go outside all day, at 11 years old. And they didn't question it. They would literally yell at me when the streetlights came on. I was gone for 12 hours a day. These kids today, they sit in the house and they do jack shit. They have it's whatever. It's a different podcast.
Yes.
But like for us, it was, I took all the education I got on both sides of the fence, if you will, or both sides of the track, if you will. And I was never a good student in school. School was too easy for me and boring. But I was extremely creative, and my mind can go to places that I never even knew was capable. But I also didn't know how to deal with some of those thoughts where I'm like, man, I had such a creative thought. I'm like, oh, I could do that. Where everybody's like, oh, you can't do that. I'm like, but I think I can. Mm-hmm. Here we are.
Wow. Okay, so how did you use those 2 different upbringings to bring into business to build success?
In my opinion, it was like being the bridge. We talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
You have to understand, like, a lot of my family on my parents' side stopped talking to my parents because they said, oh, you want to be rich, you want to be out here, you want to be in the Vernon Hills, Libertyville lifestyle. And my mom and dad never deviated from that, and they have my utmost respect because of that, because they're like, no, I just want a better life for my children. And if I can give them a shot and they take the shot, then it works. If they take the shot and I never took the shot, it fails. I made my parents proud. My parents are extremely proud of me. They love me. They're like, dude, who knew? Like, who the fuck knew you were going to do what you do? Right. As big as you do it. And at the same time, have that reckless abandon attitude. Like, I don't care what you think. Your feelings about me don't matter to me. Like, I'm not going to lose sleep because you're insecure. I'm going to go get that fucking paper. I'm going to go take that vacation. I'm going to go buy that car. I'm going to go flip that house. I'm going to go build this business. And if you don't like it, just stay tuned. I got so much more. I'm not even finished, right? That was my attitude growing up. But they gave that to me. They said, dude, I'm out here. We're living out here now to give you a shot to do whatever you want to do. And I said, let's go get it. And I may have been wild. Trust me, I was nuts. I was not the easiest kid. My mom will tell you that. Anybody who's going to watch this shit who knows me knows, like, that dude was wild. Like, I get that. But that was just the ingredients for the cake. That was just the base. I was just whipping it up in a pot.
So tell me about with the upbringing. It sounds like you're very positive role models in your parents, right? So how do you go and like when do you decide like when did the first flip that shit came out of nowhere? Like how the first flip or the first idea of moving to this kind of
So I thought I was going to be a fireman.
fireman. Okay.
I was working at Condell, and I thought, okay, I'll be a paramedic in the ER, all that stuff, and I'll be a fireman. And then I've always been an entrepreneur. And I thought, okay, well, whatever. Firemen have like 2 days on, 1 day off, or whatever the fucking thing is. I don't know. But there's a series of that, if that makes sense. And I said, okay, well, on my off days, I can do what I want to do. But on the on days, I'll do what I have to do, in hopes that one day I don't have to do shit, but what I want to do, right?
Right.
And it just came about. Like I had friends in the industry, in healthcare that had houses that they owned because they were doctors and whatnot, and they had properties that they rent out. And I'd grown up as a teenager. I used to see the Carlton Sheets, like at 3 a.m. infomercials. I think you did too.
Of course.
And I'm like, man, I know he's full of shit, but but the business is real. But I know he's full of shit.
Right.
So I'm like, all right. So I bought the set. I bought the CDs and the DVDs and all that bullshit. I remember going to, it's hilarious. Actually, I haven't thought about this. I went to, what is that credit union? Consumers in Mundelein. I went to Consumers. I'm like, I want a loan. I want to buy a house. I'm like 19, dude. They're like, no. And I'm like, but Carlton said I could do that. So I'm here. And I realized, like, in that moment, there's a lot of people who have fear to even make that moment happen. But in that moment, I learned, like, you know what? They don't even seem as positive or as sure on that side of the desk. And I know for sure I'm not fucking sure. But you're giving me the sense that you're not sure either, which means anything is possible. And I was just that guy that always took shots. I'll take the shot. I don't care. I'll take a shot now. I don't care. I'm good with risk. I'll assess risk all day long. But yeah, I was Carlton Sheets as a teenager, working in the ER. Doctor gave me a shot. Said, would you like to possibly rehab my house? Didn't know what that meant. I thought he meant I need a rehab. I'm like, dude, I don't even drink. Cool. We'll figure it out. It was wild. And then once I realized the idea of the hierarchy of the structure, like, okay, so he owns this property. People call that an asset. The asset is worth X. We're putting in X amount to make it worth more than X. And I said, holy shit. For whatever reason, that made sense in my world. Don't know. It just clicked. It was God's hand. Like, this is where you're supposed to be.
Right. And it made sense.
It just made sense. And I'm not a math guy. I'm not a mathematician. I am now, but then I wasn't. And I was like, I don't know, that sounds complicated. And then I started Googling. This is you're talking about like when Facebook was still about like finding your college friends. It wasn't what it is now. You're talking about like when like MySpace was still fucking hot. You're talking about Instagram didn't exist. YouTube hadn't been bought yet. That's what I'm saying. That's how early I started. I started in my early 2000s.
Wow.
Social media didn't kick off till maybe after 05, the way it is now. And it didn't become what it is until 2015. But I rode that wave the entire way, naively, just showing all the mistakes we were doing, trying to rehab and remodel, because I didn't know this shit.
Yeah, what kind of background did you have?
None.
So you were just
I was more of a business guy. Like I always thought, like when I was 9 years old, I would take all my toys in Vernon Hills and I would sell them on a hill. And this is the neighborhood was Westmoreland. No, not Westmoreland. It was it was on Butterfield in Vernon Hills. There used to be a place called like you're good. Come on in. There used to be a place called like Whitehall,
right?
Which was like Section 8.
Yeah, no, I know.
Now it's different.
Yeah.
Across there used to be these townhomes we lived in, which was like Westmoreland, West something, shit like that. We lived there. And within that, I remember we'd walk to like, it was a white hen.
I know exactly where the white hen is over there. Right across
It used
from
to be the
Whitehall.
white hen that we'd walk to all the time for candy and fucking shit like that. But those days was different because it was simple then. You ride your bike, you walk, whatever.
Right.
But I just knew like, I'm like, all right, so these houses I grew up in, this is very similar to the house that he wanted me to rehab. And I'm like, the kitchen layout's kind of the same. The tri-level is kind of the same. The duplex issue of it attached Similar, right? I thought about that. I learned about that. We did that. And I said, well, I think I could do that. So then I started asking more questions. I just said, well, like, is there a lot of money in this? I've learned for a long time that there's a lot of houses that you could flip, whatever that means.
Right.
And honestly, it was simply me saying, I want to know who buys every house at volume. Don't know where that came from. This is like a thought I had. I'm like, who buys a bunch of houses? Because I know, I've seen it on the news. You see it all the time, but you hear it like indirectly, like subconsciously. But you remember it. And I was like, I remember hearing these things, like there's companies that buy hundreds of houses. Who are those companies? And all I thought was, at that point, I just want to be their contractor. I wasn't even a contractor. I was a paramedic.
Right.
So I'm like, I just want to be their contractor and get those deals and make some money and flip some houses. So I remember sitting in my 900 square foot condo, calling people. It's the smallest fucking thing you could ever imagine. And I'm calling people going, all right, I'm looking for, who do I speak to? Like, these are straight direct sales calls, and I'm not a salesman. I'm a kid. I'm like, I need to talk to the guy in charge of construction. Click. Now, the companies I'm calling are Blackstone. The companies I'm calling are the biggest fucking companies on Wall Street. And I'm just Googling, trying to find a number. I'm going to call this number. One moment, like, I'm talking weeks into this shit. Nobody's taking my calls. Weeks into this shit, I'm like, maybe I'm not asking for the right person or not the right department. So I'm researching more, like, and remember, Google's early. So like, it's not like it is now. Like, you can just snap your fingers and get this information.
Right.
And that's how I'm like, dude, who do I ask for? And nobody in my life at that time had any, they weren't in this industry. So I had no resources. I had nobody to go to. So I'm just calling and calling and calling. And then one day it hits me. I'm like, I should ask for a director of construction.
All right.
Changed my life.
Just
I
by
called
asking the right
Blackstone
question.
again. Blackstone had 8 different companies out at that time. Invitation Homes. They had American Homes for Rent. They had all these companies that were just deployed across the world that buy assets. All LLCs. Didn't know shit about an LLC, but I was learning real quick. And I remember calling one of the companies and I said, I'm in Chicago. We flip houses. I'd like to work with you. I'm looking for your director of construction in Chicago. And she said, sure, hold on. And I said, holy shit.
You got it.
Life changed. She connected me to this individual. I believe his name was Brian. I'll leave his last name out. And we ended up doing like 100 houses for him in 2 years. And I failed miserably. The first 50 houses, I didn't know how to bid them. I didn't know how to subcontract them. I didn't know how to put a scope together. I didn't know how to manage them. Nothing. That's like taking somebody out and say, you're going to be a farmer when you're raising a Chicago high-rise. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
It was so fucking black and white. There was no gray. And in my life and in my industry, there's no gray. It is what it is. That's how we got started.
Unbelievable.
It was nuts.
So good. So you were very determined, and you weren't taking no for an answer, and you were digging until you found the right answer.
No, I was never. No is not an option. Even now, no,
I've learned that
no
about
means
you a
no
little bit.
sense. Like,
Right.
what does that mean?
Right.
Like, have you thought about it? Like, I tell my kids, like, they go, no. I'm like, but did you think about it? Tell my girlfriend, she says no. I'm like, but did you think about it?
I have the same thing.
My mother, she says no. I'm like, but did you think about it?
Right.
And she'll give me that same. She's like, Ryan, don't fuck with me. I'm like, I'm just asking you if you thought about it.
Right. No, I'm always the one to push the envelope to say no. What they said, no, we can't go in this way. We can't be in the VIP next to the.
What are the options?
Yeah. No, well.
I want options.
No, we should. We should have an idea.
I want options.
Okay, let's.
Hey, you guys can work and cut. Don't worry about us.
Yes. We're
yeah,
fine.
you're,
So,
you're good.
we're on,
Don't worry
we're
about
on
me.
site right now.
Hey, you're good to go.
So
I need this shit done. Don't you worry about me.
let's talk about Grayslake, because
Okay.
you could be living wherever you want, right? Because
Yeah.
This isn't like you're not just flipping houses in Illinois. You're nationwide.
We are nationwide.
Nationwide. So
Yeah.
why settle and raise your family here in town?
So my ex and I, we got divorced a few years back, and she thought that, and we both come from this area. We come from the Long Grove, Vernon Hills, right? That's where we were raised. And she said, I think Grayslake would be a good town. I knew of Grayslake. I didn't know anything about Grayslake. And I said, well, whatever. So I wanted to make sure that I'm daddy first, businessman last, right? And I said, well, whatever, because I have the kids all the time. They're with me all the time. I coach their teams. I do everything. And I said, as long as we're within minutes of each other, that's all that matters to me.
Right.
And right now we're like 8 minutes apart. So it worked out really well. And I'm actually really, really happy with her decision because it's a great community. The kids go to Meadowview next year. They're going to be in 5th grade, so they're going to go to Frederick, I believe.
Oh yeah.
But I'll tell you something that I never ever saw coming. This town, like, completely embraced myself, my children, my family, and being able to coach the kids. We do in-house coaching, traveling coaching. I coach volleyball. I'm a volunteer at North for varsity baseball. Like, I know all the business owners on Center Street. Like, it's just incredible. You get to know the teachers, and the parents, of course. Never in a million years would I ever have thought, with the crazy life I've lived, that Grayslake would be the pinpoint for me, called Middle America, in the most wholesome fucking town you could ever fucking imagine.
Right.
And like, every day I choose to stay in Grayslake.
Right.
I'm gonna go have lunch at First Draft. I'm gonna go to Center Cut. I'm gonna go to Vine. I'm gonna go to Emails. Right? We live this shit, people. We live this shit. But the reality is, like, that's what's so cool about it, is that this is like a true, typical middle-class town where everybody works and they want the best for their children. Sign me up.
Right.
That's all I need.
Right. And I like that how you say about embracing and like bringing.
Oh, yeah.
We have a town that, especially when you get involved in your coaching baseball and you're bringing all these people together, it's kind of cool. But that work-life balance is something we always talk about business owners with. Says you have a lot of things going around nationwide.
Yeah.
Like, how do you handle all of that? Because I know I've seen some other TV shows and things that you're on. I would give you a little soapbox to talk about those too, because people haven't seen those. No, you're going to mention them.
I don't even care about that shit. To be honest with you, like, you come to a point where certain things serve you at certain points in your life, and you learn that. And we have TV shows streaming now on Netflix and all that shit, and it served a purpose then. It doesn't serve a purpose anymore. What I care about is, like, I don't know, being there for the kids. I love being able to drop the kids off at school. I like being able to pick them up from school. I love that people in Grayslake know I'm different. I know they know I'm different. I walk in, I got jewelry on, I got my shades on, I got the range. I know that.
You're different, really?
But, like, I hang, like, I actually mind my business everywhere I go. Like, I'm cool. I'll sit in a corner and just work. If this motherfucker's close the door. Fucking, who is he closing the door 13 fucking times? It don't close. Fucking swap it out. Just let it be. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're fine. You're fine. Slamming the fucking door. I must slam the fucking door. Just let it be.
So in town, I get to see you all the time at your office, or I call it First Draft. So I see you working down. If you're
They
looking,
love me. Tommy's awesome. Kirsten's awesome. Gabby's awesome. They're all awesome.
Okay, so let's talk about Rotty, because when I met you, they were like, "Hey, do you know Rotty?" And I'm like, "I don't know who the hell you're talking about." Like, when we walk in the baseball field, it's the first day I had to give you shit, and I was like, "Okay, I like this guy because we're on the level." So, your name's Ryan. How do you get to Rotty?
So Rotty, our business is I've owned Rotty since I was born, kind of thing, right?
Right.
Rottweilers for real. Our logo is a Rottweiler. When we first came on the scene, it was the Garcilazo group, the Rottweilers of redevelopment. So it always fit. It always was there. I brought a brand manager in. Her name is Millie. She's a fucking phenomenal. Now she works with all the NBA and NFL players. She's awesome. And I remember consulting a investor in Detroit, and there was 2 Ryans in his office. One of his Ryans was his VP of operations, and then there was me, Ryan, the consultant. And I'll never forget this. We're like in the conference room, and I'm working with the VP. We're getting the shit together, and his name was Al Bean. Al goes, "Hey, Ryan, I need blah 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 blah," and we both go, "What?" And he goes, No, my Ryan. You're Rotty. You're an asshole. That's what I hired you for. And I said, genius. It just hit me like quietly. I'm like, Rotty. So I called my brand ambassador. I said, listen, what do you think about this Rotty thing? She's like, fucking game over. And that was like 2015, game over. Once we created Rotty as a true brand, money just fucking flowed, man. Deals came in, contracts came in, houses were coming to me left and right. They're like, let's get the big dog on that shit. And it wasn't like just calling somebody the big dog. It's like, you're that dog. I own Rottweilers. My logo's a Rottweiler. And honestly, my personality is very much like that. At the end of the day, you have to think about what a Rottweiler is. A Rottweiler is a very loyal dog that will lay by your feet and defend you. They're cattle herders by nature. That's what they do. And at the end of the day, I want you to be successful. I want to help you. I want to make you make money, because if you make money, I make money. We make money. We all make money. It's a business, right?
So the attitude.
So it was the attitude, but at the same time, like, I just don't put up with people's shit.
Right.
Because in our business, you know, I own an investment company, an educational company, a construction company. That's what we do. Every contractor thinks they're a fucking alpha male. Every contractor thinks they're the best fucking guy at accent walls.
Right.
Or painting, or flooring, or windows. I respect that. But it comes down to leadership, right? I'll make sure you make money, but you got to follow my lead. Right. Because I know big business. You know small business. If we work together, we make a lot of more money, right? And the truth is, a lot of these guys are minorities, or immigrants, or whatever. They don't have the capabilities to speak English. They don't have the capabilities to use social media the way I use social media. So I say, you do what I ask, like this guy right now on the ladder, I'll make sure your money, that you feed your family.
So are you like the liaison between
bridge
between investors, contractors, help all these things go together?
Wall Street hires me because I'll deal with the street. The street wants to subcontract under me because I'll deal with Wall Street. Wall Street knows I know my money and I know my business. And we run a phenomenal operation, a multi-million-dollar operation. These guys work with me because they don't want to deal with them.
Right.
It's that simple.
Oh, that's good. Okay, let's do this, because I usually right at the halfway point of everything I do, we do something we call the Grayslake Hot Seat.
The Grayslake Hot Seat is brought to you by Joe Velez at JPV Financial. It's often said that those who fail to plan are planning to fail. Joe Velez and his team at JPV Financial create unique financial plans that address some of the most difficult challenges that people might face as they get older. No matter what stage of life you're in, having a proactive financial plan can help navigate some of the difficult decisions you'll face, helping you live your life by design, not default. Securities and investment advisory service offered through Osaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Now for the Grayslake Hot Seat. Hey, thanks, Joe.
So we're going to get to know Rotty just a little bit better on the Grayslake Hot Seat.
Whatever you want.
Okay, so how many podcasts of mine you've listened to? Starting with a Z and rhymes with hero?
How many podcasts of yours?
Of mine have you listened to?
0.
Right, exactly. So
I don't even, who the fuck are you? I don't even know who you are.
Thank you for your support. I just walked up to the front door and knocked.
I just show up to your events and donate fucking money.
Yes, okay, we're going to touch on that.
No, we don't have to. I'm just saying. I don't know any of your fucking podcasts. I just show up to events and do what I do.
Exactly. Tell me about the first car you ever owned.
Pontiac Firebird.
What year?
87.
All right.
In the 90s.
Of course.
No, I lied. 2000. It was actually the year 2000.
A 2000
I owned like
Firebird?
an 87 Firebird, yeah.
Oh, see, that's awesome. I got a 78.
Oh, it was a piece of shit. It couldn't fucking... I had
Really?
It was bad.
Okay. No, that's a great car.
You got to earn your keep, though.
First concert you ever attended?
Prince.
Stop it. Where at?
Rosemont.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, because...
You know who opened for him? Coldplay.
Really?
How the fuck they go together? I don't know.
Coldplay opens for Prince.
Was it Coldplay? I did Aerosmith. Maybe. No, Aerosmith with Joan Jett opened up for Aerosmith.
That's crazy. Okay, first concert I ever went to, the opening band, my dad goes, who is this? They're Inks. I'm like, no, I think it's In Excess. And they opened for Men at Work, which was a very big thing. Tell me somewhere in the United States, or not in the United States, tell me somewhere in the world you'd like to travel that you have not been.
I'd like to go to Africa, actually.
Africa?
But not like the jungle, not like the rivers. I'd actually like to go like Egypt, part of Africa, or like Morocco, part of Africa.
Really?
That makes sense.
Really awesome.
Yeah.
You get...
Oh, that's a good cut. There's an inch gap, bro.
He's the...
Pinche gap. He was so close. He fucked it up.
Superpower.
He left.
If you had to have one superpower, what would you do?
I would make sure that all children felt loved.
Wow.
If I had it through power, I'd make sure that children knew that they were worth 10 times more than how they feel at that current moment.
Wow. Did you play a sport in high school?
Yes, baseball.
Baseball? Just a single sport athlete?
No, basketball, baseball, and football.
Nice. So on the serious note, what do you think that you wish that you learned sooner in life?
Money management,
Money management.
financial fiduciary duty, understanding what to do with money, understanding that money is actually not your money, understanding that money is a tool. It's a means, it's a way of life. I have a beautiful vacation coming up in literally May 22nd. I'm talking maybe 18 days.
Okay.
And it's for Father's Day. And I do this every year. I take my parents, take my girl, my kids. We go to Disney World every Father's Day. It's tradition. And it's all expenses paid. First class tickets for our whole family. Grand Floridian, first class hotel, the whole. And it's not about fucking money. So if anybody's listening to this, shut the fuck up and think about what I'm saying. It's the experience that I can give them that they can never give themselves. But because I made it, I am absolutely in a position to make sure that they can go with me. Why not? And I think that's where celebrities, and I think that's where very, very successful people get lost, is they make it up this chain alone, and then they're by themselves. That's why they say the top is lonely. It is fucking lonely if you stay there. It ain't lonely for me because I'm bringing everybody with me. I have no problem spending money on anybody so I can have a good time. So you could have a good time. So we could have a good time and make fucking memories. So to your point, that's kind of how I look at things. It's like, I don't have you have to, I don't mind getting up every fucking morning and dealing with 90 terrible fucking phone calls till noon. And then I get that one phone call at 1:30 p.m. when they go, hey, we're going to send you this fucking badass deal out of St. Louis and we're going to build a storage unit. It's worth $1.9 million. Okay. Send me the contract.
Nice.
Because that's another vacation for my family.
Right. So it's a tool. Money is a tool.
Money is a tool.
And
that's the one thing I wish I would have learned earlier. I know it now. And I don't even know necessarily if it would have made a difference if I knew it in my 20s, to be honest with you, because I like the journey I'm on. I like everything that has happened to me in my life to get me here. I'm good with that. I think at the end of the day, make peace, because that's the journey, man. And my journey's not even fucking done. Who the fuck knows what's going to happen in an hour?
Sure. Yeah.
But I'm in on it. I'm good. Let's go. That's how
And
it
you
works.
and you need to embrace that, because I see that you like we were talking about, you coach Mustang baseball.
Yes.
And you say you don't coach basketball, but I saw you when you were legitimately coaching at the scores
coaching.
table.
I'm scoreboarding. It's a strategy.
And-
If I could sit between both teams and play on the scoreboard,
Yeah.
I could yell at my son and be like, "Get your fucking lazy ass down there and box the fuck out." Period. And then I go back and go, "Oh, 3-1 foul."
Right.
Team. Hey ref, they have 14 fouls. Jackson, grab the fucking ball. Like, that's my life.
Right. And I love how you insert yourself into like those things to help these kids grow, right? Because that's
100%.
like, there's nothing more rewarding than that, really, at the end of the day, is watching
there's-
these kids play
there's not.
sports and guide them. Another question is, when you first meet somebody, how does someone impress you?
In general,
Yeah.
I'm not impressed.
You're not impressed.
You
How-
can't impress me.
How does someone, though? What do you look at somebody, the qualities you see in somebody where like, hey, I respect this guy. Like,
I don't-
I can get him in my.
I don't. Great question. I don't look at life that way. Like, I'm not. I actually tell people who are trying to impress me to stop. So I don't look at it that way, because, in my opinion, you're not true to who you are. So do you want me to fucking like you or not?
I like it.
That's how I look at things like that. So I can't answer that question, I think, the way you want me to, because I'm so real about the approach.
Right.
If you're approaching it that way, what are you looking for?
No, well, I think
Just
that
be you. Who gives a shit?
both you and I find the people that are genuine, that impresses me. The people that are genuine, like they're not trying to impress you, or people that come to like simple things like eye contact, handshake, respect,
Right.
back and forth. The people that give respect without wanting it back right away. It's a big thing. Okay, so two of the most important questions I ask everybody, whether I decide to publish the podcast or not, is: have you ever eaten a roller dog from a gas station?
No. I have from Home Depot.
from Home Depot. Yeah. That's not really a roller dog.
They're
Those
fucking
are really
good dogs.
Those are really good dogs. And what are the chances that Bigfoot exists?
100%.
100%. Okay,
That's
so
my guy. He's on your head.
He's on your head. We're back in business now.
He's on your head.
That's right. It's all good.
Dude, he's out there.
He is. No, it's good, and I'm sure he's doing all this stuff. All right, so tell me this. So, as you do this, you get to be like you deal with Wall Street, right? Mm-hmm. And you deal with the contractors things. Mm-hmm. So when you put all these things together, I want to know, like, as you're building business, you start. How do you get to the point from you're doing a couple of things, you're helping the doctor out around, to building it up to actually being nationwide? Like, what is the big deal that kind of?
We're actually international. We do deals in Mexico and Canada.
Oh, international. Sorry,
Dave.
I didn't mean to sell you short.
Dave, I mean, what the fuck, Dave?
I didn't mean to insult you with nationwide.
Great question. I think when we started working with the hedge funds, they had this entire process of like A to Z, like management to budgets to Google spreadsheets to vendor relationship. Like they had this perfect system, which is why they do billions of dollars a year, right? And I said, if I could just take a piece of their little model and implement that into my little business at that time, right? Then I'm going to be very, very successful, more so than anybody in my space. And at that time, it was contractors. But I was always a businessman before a contractor. I wasn't a contractor first. So they think a certain way. I thought a different way. I thought big fucking money. I think learning their model allowed me to come into my business and say, well, how can I make it more efficient? How can I make it better? How can I make it more operational? How can I bring some leadership in here? What kind of accountants do I need? What kind of legal do I need? Like, I thought of it as a fucking enterprise. And that's where I think a lot of business owners, even the ones listening on this podcast who own restaurants or whatever you own, God bless you. Keep doing your thing. I support you. But sometimes people think small, or they don't have enough resources to think bigger. I got all that shit. So I'm an idiot if I don't fucking use it. I have every resource in the country. I'm in a mastermind with the top 350 real estate investors in the country. I'm a fool if I don't call them and ask them a question. I'm a fool if I don't text them and say, I need a connection. What am I there for? I made it. Use it. That's what it's all about. I just want to be a resource for everybody else in the community too. But ultimately, you have to look at it like, you have to look at the bigger picture. Where are you going to go? Where are you going to take it? When are you done? Are you ever done? That's how I look at things. I'm 43. I'll be 44 this year. I've been doing this my entire adult life. I know nothing else. If I got a fucking office job, I'd get fired within the first day. Because I'd be like, dude, you're dumb. You don't know shit about middle management. You don't even know your fucking name. They'd fire me. No problem.
Right.
But I could build them a fucking enterprise that even that level would never see. Because the hedge funds taught me everything I needed to learn about running a massive organization. But it's not even about massive. It's about running a fully fueled operational organization, whether it's one person or 100 persons. And that's where I sit.
Right. And we were discussing a couple things over lunch too, that about organization and about, you have to be a leader at the same time, but you're also HR at the same time, but you also have to put these things together. You're showing me your app, but, like, everybody is checking in, but you have to stay on top of that because it has to be a well-oiled machine to make.
Oh, that's the cut. That's the cut. Much better. This is my pride and joy.
I wish you
chose
enjoyed
this
your job.
accent wall. I said, we're not fucking just leaving any wall. We're putting fucking wood up there, and we're going to paint it cobalt blue, and we're going to have a built-in fireplace, which is right behind you. Like, this wall is so fucking sexy.
All right, so
anyway, this is what I do for a living. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. So we want to go over to our TikTok page right now because there's going to be some videos on this. We're gonna shoot to see.
I love what I do. I have a passion for what I do. I could see it come together. We're going to make $1 million. That's what this is all about. If you have no passion for what you do, stop fucking doing it.
Okay, how many houses are you flipping right now, as of mid-May of 2025?
Let me open up my software. I don't fucking know.
Did you? So where do you get the software from? Is it something you created?
Don't you worry.
Come on, tell everybody the secrets. See right there.
This is all the houses we have across the country open for flips.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
I don't know. I have to count them up. I would say 28.
Wow.
Somewhere between 25 and 30 houses under construction right now. But it's not just houses. We do everything. We flip restaurants. We've got storage units under construction. We have hotels. We have a partnership with La Quinta Inn, so we do a lot of that shit.
Really?
Yeah, man. I mean, like when you're able to create a brand of quality and precision, we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. No. I don't sell perfect. What I sell is sexy construction. That's what I sell.
Sexy construction.
Making construction look sexy.
All right.
Right? Why do I drive a Range Rover? Why can't a contractor drive a Range Rover? I wear Jordans. Why can't a contractor wear Jordans? Why can't a contractor have earrings and glasses? Why do we always got to look dirty and rugged and sloppy?
Right.
I don't agree with that. These guys make phenomenal fucking money. Own your life, man. Have fun.
Right. Enjoy it.
I sell success.
Tell me about one of the most challenging flips you've had. Tell me a good story about a challenging flip. This one.
The one we're sitting in right now. The corner behind you and this corner over here completely had to be blown out, the back of the house, 2 stories, and rebuilt. The roof had to be rebuilt. All the trusses in this house had to be rebuilt. There was a bathroom in this general area. We knocked on the wall to get 9-foot ceilings. We had to beam everything. Had to be all rebuilt. That was never part of our original budget. We had a change order for about $55,000.
Wow.
To me, that's nothing. To you, that's like holy fucking shit.
That's a lot.
I get that, right? To us, I'm like, oh, it's half a G to us. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go. We get private financing for that. All right, we have private lenders who are like, all right, I'll lend you the 50 that you need for the change order. I want 12%. No problem. Like, this is the game of real estate investing. It's not what you see on TV. If you watch these fucking bullshit TV shows, and I've been on all of them and walked off all of them on camera, I'm like, you're full of shit. Because your numbers make no sense. It makes me look bad. Because I actually run a real business. Mm-hmm. So if you're trying to tell me that you're going to buy a house for $100,000 and you're going to put in $300,000 in rehab and sell it for $500,000, you're $400,000 in. Do you think I would put $250,000 into anything unless I was at least going to make $250,000 back? That's the game. You got to know the game. You got to know your numbers on the fly. Our business, our tactics, our negotiations are not about assets. It's literally working out percentages and interest and equity on the fly. You have to know your math.
Right.
And that's frustrating because I didn't know my math coming
Right.
up.
Okay, so in the beginning.
But this is my most frustrating flip I've had, but I chose it to answer your question.
Yeah.
This house, everybody said you can't flip.
Right.
I said, fucking watch me.
Well, and you're the kind of guy that loves that. You can't
Give
do
me
this,
a reason.
right? Yeah. Exactly.
Give me a reason. Give me a reason. Because I'm going to wake up in the morning and I told this to you today. Right? I don't play sports anymore. I got old. It happens. Mm-hmm. But this is my sport. I practice every fucking day. And you better come ready because I'm going to win every fucking day. This is what I do for a living at the highest levels. This is what I do.
You bring passion to what you do, and
100%.
I wish that more people would have passion for whatever they're doing. I don't care whether you're running a podcast.
You don't have passion. Don't do what
anything.
you're doing. You're going to lose money. Just hand the money over.
Yeah, and find something that you like, right? Like, and everybody. I mean, in today's world, in 2025, opportunity is there for whatever you want to do, right? It's just how bad do you want it, right?
Some people don't have it. They don't have it. They don't have it. That's not who they are. They just want to own a business. A boutique. They want to sell, I don't know, clothes. It ain't enough. It ain't enough. What if I woke up selling the same shit you're selling, but I have passion? I'm going to fucking destroy you.
Right.
I'm going to destroy everything about your business because I actually like what I do. You're just doing it because it's a means to an end.
Sure. And some people do it for the money. Some people do it for other things. And you try to teach these young guys, like we are worried about the work ethic of this generation coming up, right? And if they don't go after it and they don't have the passion behind it, somebody's got to learn. And now what a better opportunity for the youth to sit forward and have the balls to go after something and go after it hardcore because they will win easier now because people don't have that work ethic.
100%. But it's also about resources.
Amen.
It's about resources. It's like, if you're okay, I consider myself one of the goats of this industry, right? But I also need resources. I need lenders. I need real estate agents. I need insurance agents. I need podcasters. I need marketing, right? I need resources because that's how business works. That's how enterprise works. And for me, one of the best things we've ever done is I made friends with all of the agents, real estate agents, whatever I could do to help agents. I'm like, we work together essentially. And you could call me for whatever you need, whatever client needs, I got it. We'll handle it. No problem. Right? We'll work out the money. Not a problem. But I've been training real estate brokerages across the country for over 15 years on project management for construction so that those agents can double dip. They can represent the transaction and then also represent the client personally to get the project fucking done.
Nice.
By us doing that, what do you think happens? They call us all day long. Hey, this guy wants a kitchen remodel. This person needs this fixed. The garage is fucked up. No problem. Do I make big money on that kind of stuff? No, of course not. But my guys can get fed.
Well, it's about
I can keep these guys busy.
relationships and
100%.
taking care of and treating people the right way, right?
100%.
Because that's another thing that I think there's a lack of these days, right? Is that that our youth needs to learn, and
100%.
everybody
Like
approaches
Grayslake's
business.
perfect. Like Grayslake's got tons of older homes. Those homes need love. You want to be able to trust somebody that has a reputable brand name, and that other people can say, "Hey, man, he's actually legit." I'm not saying the project's going to be perfect, but that's the guy you want to work with.
Right. So tell me, like, it's for somebody listening in Grayslake right now, you're talking about like older homes. I know that like this is a massive project that we're sitting in right now. Do you take on other projects? Do you do general contracting? Do you do things? Or is
So in the recent years, we never worked with consumers ever in the history of my company up until this year. In January, last year I made a decision that part of our plan for growth and scale is that I'm going to do local work. I'm going to help out in Chicago and Lake County, McHenry County, and Cook County, all that shit, because that's where we're from. So we started with family and friends, believe it or not. And they always say, don't do that shit. But I've been knocking family, friends out, kitchens out, workout rooms out, basements out, to get these guys ready.
Sure.
I'm like, this is the kind of shit that I can give you if you want it. Cause they're used to flips. They're used to big ass empty houses. It's a different model because these guys can show up to work. There's nobody here. No one's going, oh, will you repaint that again? And bitching and whining. We don't do that shit because there's no emotion in house flipping. Sometimes we don't even know who the end buyer ever is going to be. That's why we put out design boards.
Yes.
So that they can come in and put it under contract early, knowing what the vision is for the finish.
Right.
It's different. But if I worked at Dave's house, Dave might be like, well, I need my kitchen to look a certain way. I need a certain granite. I need a certain quartz. I need a certain backsplash. I need a certain look. I need a certain pattern. Different communication that these guys are not used to.
Sure.
Which means I got to get involved more. Further communication.
I see what you're saying.
And I've got to sit there and go, do I want to do that shit?
On a
Because
much
it is
smaller job.
time consuming.
Right.
Right? But in the last 6 months, easily, we've been doing more personal consumer jobs, not investment jobs. And it's cool because it keeps a lot of my smaller guys busy. Fence jobs, deck jobs, kitchen jobs, workout rooms, whatever. Like for whoever's listening in Grayslake, we will do anything you guys want. We're the best of the best. We'll do your kitchen. We'll do your renovation. We'll do an addition. We'll build a garage, whatever. But we just started doing that. We never did that before. So when I say we flipped between 6,000 and 7,000 properties in 20 years, those were all investments. It wasn't Dave's house.
Right.
It was, I don't know whose house it is. It's whoever buys it.
All right.
That's a big difference.
Yeah. But I'm sure there's got to be some, it's kind of fun, but you'd like to see the final product sometimes going.
I always see the final product and then I bounce.
Really?
Because all my partners are agents or the sellers.
All right.
So I already know what the final product is. I'm in it. Well, we're finishing it. What we're going to do at this house is when this is done, I'm going to have a big fucking party here.
Yeah.
I'm going to invite all the agents locally. I'm going to invite everybody, everybody who has influence to push that shit out.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't you market $1 million flip? What do? You have a fucking party, man.
Amen.
And we celebrate a victory of a house that everybody said was improbable. And I said, fuck you, watch me.
Right.
And here we are.
I love it.
And that'll sell because we have a party.
Oh.
It'll sell because he's doing an accent wall. It's going to sell because we have actually design boards. It's going to sell because the vision from day one was always there. I saw the trash. I saw the mold. I saw the collapsed windows. I saw dead animals. I saw it all, but knew that once it was cleaned out and I could fix this shit up, it's going to be worth $1 million.
Flip that shit.
Flip that shit.
How many things are you doing locally?
For life.
For life. For life. How many things are you doing locally? Because this is like one of your ones that's close, right?
Locally, this is it.
Really? So
I've got condos in Sarasota. I've got
to-
single properties in Venice, Florida. I've got 14 homes in Wisconsin. I got storage units in St. Louis. I've got 3 single family in Indianapolis. I don't fucking play, bro.
So do you have to you travel around and have to see these at some point, right?
This is why when I come to baseball, I'm such a joy to be around because I'm like, I just want to play ball.
Wait, who told you you're a joy to be around?
Shut your ass.
You bring a flavor definitely to there, which I love. That there has to be more
I just want
people
to play
that
ball, man.
just
I just wanna
having
be-
fun.
When I'm done with work, I just want to be one of the guys, bro.
I know. It's great.
That's it.
Okay, so with these properties, do you have to go out and see them? They have to be
Yeah.
at
Well, I virtually manage everything on our software.
right.
So all of my teams, they check in every single day with videos and pictures. I jump in with questions, comments. I can annotate and mark pictures. I can question things. We keep a dialogue going. And depending on who I allow into the conversation, it could be the lenders asking questions for the next draw. It could be the investors, the shareholders asking questions as are we almost to market? It's a lot to deal with. There's a lot of different people that we deal with
Right.
all day, every day. So if we have, almost 30 properties under construction, all different types of assets, commercial, retail, single, it can be a lot because you're having a lot of conversations about different levels of money, different finishes, different problems, different inspectors, different cities, different codes, different expectations. But ultimately, the reason why I can sleep at night is because everybody knows I got it. I got you. Just give me a minute. I may not be able to respond right now. Give me a fucking minute. I got you. I got everybody. I'll take care of everybody. Just give me a minute.
Okay, so there's a lot of pressure that goes into all this stuff too,
You
right?
have no idea.
Right. So how long can you? I mean, with the amount of stuff that you're doing, because obviously you have a lot of people that depend on you, and
Well, this is why I go to the gym every morning because some people sit on the couch and cry. I don't fucking do that.
Right.
I go to the gym and beat the fuck out of myself physically, and then I'm relieved.
Right.
And I feel good, and I'm ready for the day. I start my day at the gym at 8:25 every morning. I drop the kids off at school, 8 o'clock, go right to the gym, Bears Fit, and I knock my shit out. All of my clients, all of my contractors, all of my partners know, don't fuck with me till 10 a.m. I'm busy.
Right.
And if I don't go to the gym, they know I might leave them alone because I'm a dick.
Right.
I need that physical outlet.
Are you the kind of person you have like a solid routine every day?
Yes.
Right.
Habits and rituals. Without them, you're nothing.
Right. And
You'll never find success without habits and rituals.
Interesting. What time do you wrap up your day?
It never wraps. I just choose. As a true entrepreneur, I'm 365.
Right.
You learn that you don't take time off, you take time away. When you learn that, you're fine. I take a lot of vacations a year, honestly. I take the kids on vacation once a quarter. That's for us, for the family. But I travel monthly because I need to get the fuck out, but I could also sit at a fucking pool bar
do
and
your
work.
Right.
Because I got software.
Absolutely.
I could sit at Disney World and answer a question in line because I have software. But I also have respect and I also have earned the right to be left alone. If that makes any sense.
Absolutely. It makes
There's
sense.
nobody in this fucking country that does the volume I do. I'm top 3. I don't give a shit who you are. Come tell me. You think I'm kidding?
No, I do not. No, I do not. It's fun. It's fun to get to sit together. I get to talk to a lot of business owners, of people of all kinds of different walks of life, right? But the passion that you have for it, the confidence you have for it, and putting your mouth where your money is.
Always.
As I always say, and kind of the opposite. But I love what you're doing. What does the future hold for you?
44 this year. 9/11 is my birthday. I think by 50, I'll probably just be collecting rents on my rentals. I'll probably continue to run the educational part of our company because I really enjoy the one-on-one. I really do. I really love working with people individually. This doesn't really excite me anymore. I think my industry has known that. They've seen that passion for the whole construction thing has died down. Like this project, I had one of my investors here this morning. We were here earlier before I went to the gym. And he looks at me and goes, how the fuck did you pull this off? And I'm like, I don't even know because I actually don't care. He's like, I know you don't care. That's why I'm asking how you pulled it off. I'm like, because it's just instinct. You know what to do. But it's no longer fun for me. So I look at things like, oh, let's do an accent wall. Let's just create something out of nothing to stay alive. But I've been doing this so long that this is easy. This might be the most impossible and improbable business for anybody else. For me, this is the easy. Flipping houses is the easiest fucking thing that I've ever done. Right. Easier than baseball. And for me, that's dangerous because I'm like, oh man, I've lost my passion for it, which means I'm going to slip up and fuck up. So that's why I challenge myself with a specific property like this, where I'm like, if they say it's impossible, then I'll take it because I have to pay attention. I have to be alert. I have to be ready. I lost a lot of sleep on this fucking house over the last 5 months. Lots of fucking sleep. Because I'm like, did I make a mistake? Is the roof going to hold? Are these beams the right beams? I'm in it. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. Because all the other bullshit I'm doing, cookie cutter.
Right. So the challenge.
I have to be challenged.
Right.
I have to. So for the future for me is I think I will always coach and teach and consult and continue showing guys like you how to flip houses. But I don't need this anymore because this is very stressful. And when you do it at the level we do it, it's just, I got like maybe 65 different subcontractors nationwide texting me a day about this, that, and the other. And I have to have an answer, an idea, or a resolution. And sometimes I'm like, you've been in this business 35 years, figure the fucking shit out, I'm busy. Quickly. I have no problem saying it to anybody.
Right.
And I'm like, if I got to be like that, maybe I should stop.
Yeah, well, there's different points of it.
But at the end of the day, no one's going to do what we do if I didn't stop.
True. Well, I guess you just have to figure out what is enough, right? And then when you know, because you'll know when to stop, right?
You know, when my parents, I take my mom to lunch twice a week, easily. I take my dad to dinner once a week. To see them sometimes, my dad's like, I don't know how you do it. You know, and to hear your dad tell you, like, I don't know how the fuck you do it, which is a whole different conversation than I wish you'd do something, or I wish you would get a better job, or I wish you'd be a better dad. Like, there's none of that.
Right.
It's all love. He's like, I'm concerned for you. You're gonna fucking stroke out, right. And I laugh and go, nah, pops, I'm good. I know what I got. And my mom's like, dude, you're just. I don't know what to take. But you're just different. And I'm like, I still got it, but I am getting to a point where I'm getting smarter. And this is bigger business conversations where, like, I have trusts being built. I have LLCs being created on purpose to put assets in certain places for the future. I've got things in my kids' names, right? I've got life insurance policies that, whole life that I can borrow from. It's like a bank account. People don't even know that, but you got to make money to be able to have that. Like, there's just different things that I'm doing for my future so that I can just slow things down. But my biggest problem is me. Because I might say tomorrow, slow down. And then on Saturday, I'm like, let's go fucking get it.
Wow. Okay. Me and you have a lot in common. Yes. Yeah. Just watch out. Make those decisions and get after it, right? Right off the bat.
Telling you.
Wow. All right. So as we wrap up, because we're about an hour, because people have to know, there's other things coming.
Puppy! These are my good guys.
Good guys.
They're good guys. I could ask them to build me a house tomorrow and they would do it. They're good guys. Thank you. Give me 5 more minutes. 5 minutos. Go ahead. Fucking gum.
All right, Rotty. So as we
yes,
as we wrap up,
we're wrapping up.
We're wrapping up. Hey, we got to leave a minute.
Wrap it up.
I want to, because of time constraints, but I want to do some videos in here. I want to show people what's going on, and then we'll come back and we'll do it as you finish.
I will watch. I'll walk you through the whole house.
Yeah,
100%.
But I'm excited about what you're doing, and your enthusiasm is contagious, which is fun.
I want the best for people. And if they don't see that in me, they're not my people.
Yeah, and it's funny because a lot of people, when you have a big personality and when you're confident, people sometimes don't know how to take
It's threatening.
Right. I looked at you the first time. I go, I got to talk to this guy because he's awesome. Like, for one of the same. But I'm sure that it's intimidating, or people are like, people don't know how to take you, right, until they get a chance to know you. Which, if people have not gotten to know you, especially in town, that I think they should, because I admire what you do and what for the community.
Thank you.
And in our fundraisers, you came and you lent an awesome hand and you changed some people's lives with financial donations and just being fun and bringing the spirit of the community. And I really appreciate that. And I know for you, it's not about the money, but we're seeing that family and the help that you gave. Hats off to you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And you made it a lot more easier for me to do a
I'll do it
auction
again.
when I had people bidding. So I appreciate that.
Anytime,
You
brother.
just, no, you're not. You just told me you're not coming next year.
Well, I'm not donating $90,000. But I might give.
But it was fun.
Might give $1.
I'm glad you got roped in. So it made my night.
I didn't get roped in. I got suckered in. There's a difference.
Right, exactly. And then we
suckered in.
yeah, it was fun though. That's good.
It's funny.
So hey, I appreciate you. Any social media channels or anything that people can find out more about
Yeah.
you? We want to let know.
If you guys want to follow everything I do and everything we've done, you can follow us on Facebook, Ryan Rotty Garcilazo. You can follow us on Instagram, The Real Rotty G. You can follow us on YouTube, Rotty Flips Houses. But honestly, we do videos and promos all day, every day.
Yeah, you got stuff
It's not
all
hard
over
to
the
find. I'm not hard to see. Google the shit out of me. You'll see the good, bad, the ugly. It is what it is.
I
have nothing to hide.
The slow motion videos are what I want with you smoking cigar pleasures. That's what I like.
I'm about to spark one up in about 2 hours.
All right, that's good.
Like cigars, I want to get in that business. Like we have I already bought the LLC, the Garcilazo, the Garcilazo family cigar company is already purchased,
All right.
and we're fabricating and growing our own tobacco in Puerto Rico. Like I want it all. Like I'm not done. I want to open up a social media center in downtown Grayslake on Center, so people can come in and film shit, do their own podcasts, do their own interviews, do cool shots. There's a lot I want to do. I want to do a cigar bar. City already said no, but I'm gonna make friends. Don't you worry. But there's all kinds of things that I want to do in this community. I think Grayslake is a great spot to continue growing. And as a true serial entrepreneur, I've got a lot of things I want to do that have nothing to do with house flipping.
Awesome.
So if you're a partner out there that want to partner with me and you want to build something, find me. Not hard to find, but I want to build things that are different and unique, and I'm willing to hear all ideas.
Well, I can't wait to see what's next. So it'll be a lot of fun. So I appreciate your time. Let's do some video around here.
Let's do it.
Rowdy, I appreciate you, buddy. Grayslake, hey, wherever you guys are listening, do me a favor and make sure to subscribe, because that way every Tuesday you'll get to meet somebody else from our community. And as we always end, we never know what our family, our friends, or even strangers on the street are going through. So sometimes people are having a really hard time. So get out there, do 1-2 different random acts of kindness, whether it's open the door for someone, give them a smile, be nice to the
Hold a door. It's called respect. Teach your kids to open doors for women,
should be
hold
doing
doors for cars, the whole nine.
Doing
Teach your kids to be respectful.
Exactly. And that respect should come. So be nice to some people out there. Change somebody's life today. Kindness spreads like wildfires. Do something good. Rowdy, thank you, buddy. Appreciate
Anytime,
it.
bro.
And Grayslake, we'll see you next Tuesday.
Bada bing.